Damn, I'm good.
Alright, let's get this one underway. This one's on Cloud Kingdom. It's between Biois and SSNYorosmai. Yorosmai spawning as the red Zerg at the top right, and Biois spawning as the blue Zerg. This is a ZVZ. Hoorah! And it's gonna be pretty freaking nasty. Alright, because SSNYorosmai is rank 1 Master League. He's streaming right now. If you guys want to follow his stream, link will be in the description, and all that fun jazz. Guys, we are going to be back in the swing of things. StarCraft Inc. is going to be kicking it up and getting it real. Now, okay, enough of this gangster shit. We're done with that because I hate those people so much. Anyway, what? Okay, anyway, I am going to remember to leave the production tab, that one, open for this game, because I went to go to the income tab last game and I opened the income tab and then closed the income tab and then forgot to reopen the production tab. Yeah, so there's that. Like I said, in a couple of probably maybe next cast, I don't even know, I'll have the studio set up again and I won't be using my headphone mic, and then it'll be crystal clear. You could even play me while you're going to sleep and have my soft, soothing voice lull you to bed. Or you couldn't, because that's creepy. And as we talk about that, both players get their expansions at the same time. If you look at the production tab, they're almost identical. You can tell how refined these builds are. The overlords kind of cross the map at the same time. Look, boom, and the second overlords come out at the same time. I know Yorosmai's is out, I think, but I can't find it. I don't know where it is. That's okay. I don't know. Anyway, we got pool going down for Yorosmai. I don't think we even have a pool for... There we go. There's the pool for Biois. And he's getting gas here, and that's all for now, folks. And now finally the gas for Yorosmai. And you can see, man, these production tabs, just same time for everything. And the pool for Biois is a little bit late, but the gas is a little bit early, and vice versa for the those things on Yorosmai's production tab. But we see Biois back to droning. I'm curious as to where the income tab is. We see Yorosmai had just one harvester, now evening it up. And all these things, like just the tick for tick for tick, every single moment, every single beat is going to be so important in the early stages of this ZVZ. And that's so much the same for every ZVZ in the high level. Because just like a second of difference is such a big deal when you're getting into those Ling micro battles. When you have like one extra roach than your opponent, it could be the turning tide in your engagement, and we're gonna see all of that come into play here, I'm sure, because Yorosmai is a very heavy micro player with very impressive macro to back it up, and that's why he is where he is. His mechanics are so very impressive. And once again, the production tab is almost identical. We do see the queens finishing up for Yorosmai first. Those injections will kick in. I don't know. There's the second queen. I think that was weird. We're not... oh, I see. He injected... Oh, God. I didn't even know what happened there. We've got two queens without energy, but only one hatchery with inject on it. So I'm a little bit confused. But we'll see how this goes. And just the trail of overlords across the map amuses me. We see a spine going down for both players. And what the hell is with this mirror crap? I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. I want to see one guy go battle cruisers. Is that too much to fucking ask? But it never happens. And we're going to see that inject finish. We've got a few Lings running in for Yorosmai, not to do any damage, but to just say hi, see what's going on. He sees how many gas there are, get a run by on the queen because of the inject, which was pretty lucky on Yorosmai's part, and just does a complete survey of the entire base, seeing the saturation, seeing the number of spines, losing both those Lings finally to the spine crawler there. But Yorosmai sees everything he needs to see, and it looks like there was a little bit of the same deal going on for Biois, but I don't think he saw nearly as much as Yorosmai did. We do have that layer tech going up for Yorosmai, which is much earlier than any tech on Biois' part. We're seeing Roach Warren and Banelings for Yorosmai, and Banelings are okay against Roaches, but not really. Not really. I don't know how to feel about the choice of Banelings. Did the Baneling Nest finish or did he cancel it? It is finished, and we will see that hatchery turn into the lair. Yeah, no lair tech for Biois yet at all. He's actually getting Zerg missile attacks 1 for those roaches, and I think that'll be a big deal. We're seeing roaches now for Yorosmai, and I think maybe Yorosmai's tactic for this was to maybe just give himself options. He's got the Baneling options, he's got the roach options, and Banelings will not be an option for Biois, as he does not have the tech necessary. We're going to see that Spire come out too, and you know, it's just Yorosmai looks like he's equipping himself for like snap decisions, right? He's giving himself every tech decision he needs. If he sees something that he needs to counter, he can counter it because he has every production type available, and does not necessarily have to. It's not like Protoss or Terran where you have to get 5 robos to produce 5 things. It's not like 5 factories to produce 5 things. It's just get the tech building and all your production works in harmony. So getting those tech structures is not a detriment like it would be for a Terran player who gets them and then doesn't use them. I hope that makes sense. So, as that being said, we do see Yorosmai scouring the map with Lings on every direction, trying to get some scouting information, trying to get some map control, and he will be coming in here into this base. We'll see if he has enough to do any damage here. Gonna see the roaches gonna back off because he doesn't want to engage that. I think he could take that, but the losses would be too heavy. He's just poking back to see if those roaches leave, but that's not the case. They have not left. If he's lucky, he could catch a drone transfer, but I don't even think he's going to look for that. We'll see. I'm not even sure that Biois will make that drone transfer until the Lings are gone, until the map control is his again. The Lings are going to come back around this way. I'm going to get kind of caught in the middle. You know what? We're going to follow them this way, and just kind of dogging around. That was not a fun time. It's not the kind of bath you want to take as a Ling. It's like bile. It's like stomach vomit. It's kind of gross. So gonna show off his mutas actually by accident by running into an Overlord, and just gonna ignore that Overlord. Gonna get in here while he still has a significant advantage. We do see spores going up really fast. Good reaction time by Biois, but the muta seem to have gotten here in time. Will we see a cancel on that spore? Ling's coming in too. I don't know if that was a cancel or a kill, but these roaches are going to do more than enough damage to those Lings to hold them off. The muta will not be able to kill the spores. They do need to get out of there, and the spores up in time to save this base. I feel like Yorosmai maybe should have targeted the drones. I'm not sure what his plan was there. He could have done way more damage had he gone for drones rather than structures. I think that's a good rule of thumb for anybody using muta, but of course in the heat of the moment, even a high-level player sometimes doesn't quite make those decisions fast enough. We do see Queens defending this base, lots of transfuses, and holding these muta off quite sufficiently, and Yorosmai comes back with those muta. Well, the transfuse is empty. Microing is muta to try to keep them alive, but the range on the Queens is just too much for the muta's range. They cannot get away in time. But 3 Queens do go down for Biois. No point in even running them. He wanted to do every damage he could, because if he runs away, he's going to take damage without doing damage, and he's not going to get his Queen away anyway. So sometimes that's a decision you have to make too. If I run, can I get away? If you can't, you better just stand there and fight. So yeah, there's a lot of decisions to make in StarCraft. Anybody who plays StarCraft can tell you that and know that. We do see a cancel, so good micro by Biois. Great micro cancel. Yorosmai once again needs to be going for those drones. He cannot do any damage to the structures here, and it saddens me that he keeps trying. We do see him on 3 bases. Spinecrawler is going up here at the 3rd, and he's got his opponent really contained. I feel like he could take another expansion if he wanted to. We do see the blue player Biois on actually a lot of minerals. He's floating. He's a little bit supply blocked. The muta allowed Yorosmai to kind of go Overlord hunting, which is really good. I did hear a changeling die, so we do have scouting information on Biois' behalf. I don't see the Overseer though. That would mean we have layer tech, which I didn't announce, which I'm sure went up a long time ago. But lots of upgrades on the way for both players. We're seeing glial reconstitution, so still investing in those roaches and actually equipping infestors to deal with the mutas, which I think is a great choice, and those infestors will play a great all-round late game. Lots of overseers going around for Yorosmai, just kind of trolling the area, making sure nothing is around, and like I said, Infestor's always a great fucking choice because late game they can help you with anything. And so there's no harm in getting them as long as you can afford it. If you try to get them before you can afford it, you're going to pay for it if you're against a player who like can spot that you can't afford it, obviously. So we do see another base coming up for Biois, and actually choosing to use Infested Terran rather than Fungling, which is strange to me because I feel like he could have caught those Muta. But still, we see Infestors coming up for Yorosmai, and I feel Yorosmai might have the Roach advantage. Definitely does not have the Infestor advantage, but what he does have is the economical advantage. He's been on more Harvesters for longer, and he's got this base going up here, which his opponent does as well, but not nearly as soon. Oh, actually sooner. Okay, we'll see. We'll see what happens here. We're looking at the income tab. You know what? I said he was on more Harvesters, but shit, he's actually behind. So fail on my part, but I saw that this base was not saturated. I felt like Yorosmai's was more saturated. I just kind of assumed, but I should have looked at the income tab. I did. I corrected my mistake. No harm done. Woo! So that goes up for Yorosmai. A Ling coming over here and scouting, and that was the sign to run, you goddamn stupid Ling. And I think there's a broken rally here or something. Yorosmai actually keeps coming here with units. Not really sure what the goal is. Trying to pick off Infestors, actually. Freaking brilliant, but not really watching, and loses his units. I feel like he could have killed a lot of Infestors there just by moving his Muta around, because there's nothing to defend them. And this Infestor's almost dead. Interesting. I don't even think he thought about it. I think he was just trying to dump those Muta. As we are seeing Yorosmai reach max. So he was trying to get rid of those Muta to deal with this. We see Biois using some Infestors to deny this base, which is huge. The Overseer is everywhere, making it really hard for Biois to move around with cloaked Infestors. And he has found Biois' Infestors here and will kill them. So that was pretty fucking sick animation right there, ladies and gentlemen. Boom! So, wandering to the middle of the map with all his forces, both players maxed. We are seeing the income tab pretty similar. I mean, it's 4 Harvesters, not a big game changer, you know. It's going to be base count, really, and production that turns the tide of this game. And the exchange here, depending on how this goes. This is... Yorosmai currently has the high ground, so depending on if Biois decides to wander up the ramp or not will be his demise. This is Biois' moment to lose right now. Both players... Actually, he's behind in supply. I didn't even notice. 186 to 199. But he's going to catch up. He is maxed once again. Probably rallying those forces here. We are going to see a good fungal growth from Biois on a couple Hydras that were trying to kill this. But we do see a lot of infested Terrans spat out right now. And the Roaches get in on this. Corruptors, or not Corruptors, Spore Crawlers taking out the Overseers. Well, the Hydras are going to make a big difference in this fight, as that range is going to be so key. But we do see Yorosmai actually looks like he's losing this fight. What is going on? The Roaches are tanking so much damage. Yorosmai is 2-2, while Biois is 2-1, and we do see Yorosmai pull ahead somehow, but now forced against Spine Crawlers. Roaches coming from the other side, gets all the Infestors. This could be the end of Biois. Now it's up to Yorosmai to keep those Infestors alive. He needs to run them back. They have no energy, so they are useless here. Spawning some Infested Terran to take out this expansion and fight the Hydras, but the Hydras have more DPS, and Yorosmai not really target prioritying properly. And we'll see how this goes. Yorosmai not saturated here, but I mean, he doesn't really want any more Harvesters than he has, seeing as how he needs to be maxed on army. He needs to keep up with combat supply. He is losing... What is going on? I feel like he doesn't have Harvesters anywhere. This is strange. Oh, because there's a wicked drone transfer right here. Okay, that's why. And we do have another engagement going on here. Roaches versus Hydra with a couple fungal growths here to boot, but there's not much energy on those units. We will see them try to run, but this is what I'm talking about. He's running, but he can't get away. Actually going to turn around on the low ground, which is strange to me. But Yorosmai, I don't know. We'll see how this goes. I feel like retreat is not the right option. I feel like he could have taken that with some good fungals, but I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. At least done a lot of damage to the point you know, done more damage than he did running away. That was one of those runaway moments where I don't feel like he got away. And we will see some Hydra get on that Overlord full of units, which is sick. Sick. And we got 2 more Overlords filled up here. And lots more Infestors joining the mix. I love the quick tech switches that we're seeing from Roach to Hydra to Roach to Hydra to Roach to Hydra. Back and forth, so each other cannot really plan for the unit comp. And these Hydra are going to get in the mix. Cannot tank Roaches properly. Fungal growth's going down. This is hard to engage an army like this on the low ground. But we do have high ground. Maybe we have high ground? I don't even know. I could look, but I don't want to accidentally move away from this battle. Because as soon as I hit the player cam, it's going to pop me to their view, and I don't know if they're both looking. I'd love to check if they had a high ground. I'm sorry. But anyway, Biois having to retreat, and Yorosmai going to attack this base from the high ground, which is fantastic. There's nothing his opponent can do about that. All those infested Terran are going to pop and kill the line as the armies try to engage each other over here, which is not a good engagement for Biois. And I feel like, yeah, that we saw a burrow from Biois, which is pretty sweet. Good response from Biois. And man, burrow drones is such a great tactic anytime you're trying to save your drones against any race. Of course, unless you're against mass ravens, then just cry. You've lost already. And then we are going to see a conflict here that goes way in favor of Biois. I feel like the dump of infested Terran is what lost that battle for Yorosmai because his infestors were out of energy. But I think that we're going to see more production come up for Yorosmai. Yorosmai has way more production than his opponent Biois. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 bases to 4 bases on Biois, and then a 6th base going up for Yorosmai, putting him pretty damn far ahead. And knowing Yorosmai, his injects are pretty spot on. That being said, we don't have queens at every expansion. This low ground is such a weird spot to choose to camp because the low ground is giving him a disadvantage. And good spotting by Yorosmai coming around with control of the tower. And he gets an awesome angle off on this army with a good fungal to trap them there. And they're caught in a choke. But now Yorosmai caught on the top of the ramp. A good fungal from Biois, giving the same problem. Hydra coming around from the other side. And we had a bit of a sandwich here against Biois. But Biois wisely backing up, not entering that wedge again to fall victim to the same thing twice. More spines going down here for Yorosmai. And going back to the production tab, we see lots more infestors coming out. 6 Hydra and Roaches from Yorosmai, so kind of keeping away from infestor production. With this high ground, the infestors can contribute from the low ground, and we will see the Hydra and Roach for Yorosmai prevail against the Hydra Roach from Biois. And those Hydra, man, with the DPS, I think they're 3-3. They are 3-3. Is Biois on the same? No. We're seeing Biois at 2 armor. What is he at? Weapons. These are all changelings. That's funny to me. But we do have 2. Yeah, I can't find any ranged units. There we go. 2-2 still. So, Greater Spire done for Biois, and Greater Spire just starting for Yorosmai. But we do have Corruptors on the way for Yorosmai anyway, and I think that's pretty awesomely timed. And he'll have those Corruptors able to deal with the Broodlords. I don't see Broodlords in ZVZ very often, which is interesting. I'm not really sure if it's a common thing in ZVZ, but both these players have gone for them, and that's strange to me. I just feel like Corruptors would be so good against Zerg. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We do see melee weapons actually coming out for Yorosmai, which is gonna, of course, buff the damage that his Broodlords do. And the Adrenal Glands is the attack speed upgrade for Lings. So is he switching to Lings? I'm not really sure. We'll have to keep an eye on the production tab for that one. And yeah, just more Corruptors on the way. He's going to need them too. There's 5 Broodlords out on the field now, and I don't feel like his Hydra will be enough if there's too many Roaches here. I heard a burrow, but I don't know what burrowed. It was an infestor for Yorosmai. We're seeing a lot of infested Terran spawn here right under the Broodlords, and the Broodlords are bungled in place, so they will not be able to get away. And lots of target firing here. Those broodlords evaporate. Lots of fungal going down, but most of the things hit with the fungal are in fact infested Terrans, so it's kind of wasted energy for Biois. And Biois backing up. A lot of corruptors here for Yorosmai, and they're useless until that Greater Spire is done. It is now done. Could those become broodlords? I don't know. Biois has GG'd out of this game for whatever reason, seeing the count of corruptors and just not being able to keep up with Yorosmai's production. Knowing that his infestor count is behind after that engagement, Yorosmai managed to keep 5 infestors alive, plus all these corruptors. His supply count is just superior. We're seeing 149 to 113 and a base advantage. So, guys, I'm SSNYorosmai. Thanks for watching this. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. You can follow us on Facebook and YouTube, and a lot of us have Twitch TV accounts, so check those out too. I'll see you guys next time.